At a time when we have so much greed out there, when the religion of the billionaire class is greed, they would rather give up democracy than take a hit. These guys are so greedy, so wedded to their wealth and their power, that they will do anything to keep that position.
At 83 years old, all that comes to mind when I hear this man preach is what if? What if the DNC did not railroad him? What if he became president? How different of a world would we be in is honestly just sad to imagine. Meanwhile,
to me, greed is a paradox because you want everything. Even if you have more than enough, even if you have so much that what you have is starting to hurt you in the long run. You see it with the way that hedge funds cannibalize whole companies. It's like, okay, everybody made some short-term profit, but now this thing that people used to love doesn't exist. You know?
The free market capitalists like Bezos, Musk, and Thiel are notorious for buying off the little guys to eliminate the competition and enrich themselves even further.
Southwest Airlines is scrapping its long-standing policy of free checked bags, a move executives once said set the budget airline apart from competitors.
The short answer is that it's about securing our future. We're announcing changes to our business that will help us return to the levels of profitability we all expect and to support our collective long-term success. It's also about adapting to what our customers want.
Like every CEO, it is not about adapting to what our customers want, which is a blatant lie. It's about the bottom line. What customer wants to pay more for a free service that has been in place for 50 years. Find one, sir.
You take like a Southwest. You know, Southwest, people used to love Southwest. Bags fly free. Affordable tickets. You just sit wherever. You don't have to wait for the person. Southwest used to be so fire because then you don't have to wait for the person to get to their seat and you don't have to get up for anybody. Do you know what it's like to just be in your seat on the plane? And then greed, and then private equity, and then hedge funds, and then, you know, shareholder meetings, and then dividends. All the things start to creep in, and it's like, maybe we'll stop doing everything that is why everyone likes us. Maybe we'll just be like the other airlines. They make money, but then you actually look at the people who fly Southwest, and they were like, oh, Y'all aren't nice enough to be like them, though. They're making decisions based on money, but not money that they need, just more money that they might be able to get.
What it comes down to is this: capitalism. Companies want to price gouge the customer as much as they can in the name of profit while making our lives harder.
Hey guys, quick break in the action. I have a new show coming out called The Rick Strom Show. It is going to be awesome. I'm interviewing musicians, athletes, producers, writers, journalists, authors, sports doctors. Go check it out at youtube.com/@TheRickStromShow. Also be sure to throw me a follow on Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky. It can all be found in the description box below. Thank you.
Billionaires are bad for society because the level of income and wealth inequality is not only unjust from an economic perspective, it also has political ramifications. So that in my country, we have 3 people who own more wealth than the bottom half of American society. We've got people out on the street, and you have people who are worth hundreds and hundreds of billions of dollars. But in addition to that, the people who have the money have the power. They determine what wages workers are earning. They determine whether housing is affordable. They also have enormous political power. So in the United States, billionaires are able to contribute unlimited amounts of money into the political process. So if I'm a billionaire and I don't like you, who are a United States senator, I can contribute endless amounts of money to try to defeat you. And I like you because you're supporting tax breaks for the rich or deregulation. I can put enormous amounts of money into your campaign. So we have in America a movement toward oligarchy where the rich control not only the economic and political life of the country, but just have power over people's lives every single day.
Senator Sanders preaching again. And as Josh Johnson alludes to,
there's only so much that a business can grow. I understand a startup's passion, and that passion makes sense because the company just started. But after a while, it's like, do you really need to own everything? If the answer is yes, it's like, and they don't say it to us. They say it to each other. You ever get a hold of a recording of a closed door meeting and the way they talk about their own customers? You know, that's why greed is like a paradox to me. You're so greedy that then you end up cannibalizing your own company, your own efforts, yourself. You end up hurting yourself. American greed is another paradox, because as much as we know that the millionaires and billionaires maybe got their money in a way that's a little nasty, we also kind of want to be them a little bit. Everybody wants their piece, but we know how bad it is. You know, there are people who I know who want to be billionaires. They aspire to be billionaires. But if you ask them to name like a good billionaire, it's a hard quiz. But they want to be the billionaire because they're like, no, I will be different.
There are no good billionaires because with that much wealth comes the political ramifications that set society and its people back.
We see that they are pulling back on these federal programs. They're making it very clear they are. We have to create a community-based solution to do that.
On why community is so important, especially in times like this.
And so you're in this situation where, you know, people are very worried, and understandably so. Because it's not really about the money. Money is mostly like the conduit. Money's mostly the placeholder. There are people who find money to be a game, and for them, the number is the important thing. How much actual money they can stack and hoard is the real thing. I want to show how rich I am is the real thing. But for almost everybody else, it's about their survival. It's about taking care of yourself. It's about taking care of the people that you love. So when they hear that there's going to be a recession, they're not really thinking like, oh, the number will go down. They're thinking about food. They're thinking about housing. They're thinking about resources. You know, and the only way forward is with other people. We've proven that this thing doesn't work. And then I think the other problem is that if you are pitted against people, if you're pitted against the other 330 so million Americans, then yeah, the odds look insurmountable. But when you see how many people are actually in your situation, and you see how many millions of people are just like you, and you put yourself on the same side as them, all of a sudden, all of the weight, it gets a little bit easier.
Johnson shares story after story in his new upload. For more from the comedian, head over to his YouTube channel, which can be found at the URL youtube.com/@JoshJohnsonComedy. Throw him a follow on Instagram as well if you can, short form on TikTok, and type in joshjohnsоncomedy.com/tour to see him perform live.
We stay winning with Trump. We stay winners. We're winners. Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
Everyone meet Kimberly Brown, the daughter of legendary NFL running back Jim Brown and a diehard supporter of Donald Trump and the MAGA agenda. If you somehow haven't picked up on it yet, she's showing the world one of the many key factors that accelerated our country's descent into fascism, the incessant need to feel you are superior to other people.
These Democrats, these Democrats, they're demons. They're demons. They're demons, demons, demons with mental illnesses that have Trump derangement syndrome that are trying to destroy our country, destroy our spirit, destroy everything. Romans 14:13.
For as much animosity we leftists show the right wing, at the end of the day, we still believe they have the right to receive quality health care, education, housing, better pay and benefits from their employers, a dignified retirement, and everything else we advocate for, because they deserve so much better than what the Republicans have given them. But when bad faith actors wield religion, particularly the evangelical Christian sect as a political tool and distract people from recognizing that the system itself is responsible for their downfalls, not abstract demonic forces like what Brown is referencing.
Like, how do Christians not see this? You're the opposition. So when you come out and you hate Trump, that just shows me you're a demon. It just shows me you're a demon. Why are you so irritated by Trump doing good for his people?
We would ask Brown how she doesn't see that Trump himself is the antithesis of Christianity's teachings, and to think about who Donald Trump's people actually are and what good he's doing for them, because all we see is him laying the groundwork for the largest transfer of wealth from the American public to the ruling class via tax cuts, gutting social safety net programs, and tariffs that disproportionately punish the impoverished.
Which is, I see Trump as King David, a kingdom, an empire that was prosperous. Yeah. Because he was chosen by God to lead. Yes, just like Trump is chosen by God to lead. And he's going to lead us to prosperity. Like, I just don't understand. So when I see people that are the opposition coming against Trump, I'm like, oh, okay. Satan's using you. You're one of Satan's agents. Just like in the Matrix, anybody can be an agent. So I just see the opposition as Satan's agents working for him to try to stop Trump.
This is by no means a unique belief and argument amongst the evangelical right, which just makes its pervasiveness that much more dangerous. It's infinitely easier to marginalize and dismiss any group of people whenever you reduce their valid concerns about the current and future state of our country with Donald Trump at the helm to them being agents of Satan. So it's no wonder why Brown feels this emboldened to share her beliefs. Speaking of,
hey guys, quick break in the action. I have a new show coming out called The Rick Strom Show. It is going to be awesome. I'm interviewing musicians, athletes, producers, writers, journalists, authors, sports doctors. Go check it out at youtube.com/@TheRickStrom Show. Also be sure to throw me a follow on Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky. It can all be found in the description box below. Thank you.
Because Donald Trump is going to keep men out of women's sports.
Brown fed red meat to the MAGA base while campaigning for Trump in Pittsburgh.
Because Donald Trump is going to keep men out of women's sports.
Brown fed red meat to the MAGA base while campaigning for Trump in Pittsburgh.
And that's the same thing that's going to happen to your daughters. They're going to have major injuries, mental trauma of men coming into our bathrooms and our locker rooms. Missed opportunities, scholarships taken away. And guess what? Who's going to bear the cost of that? You, as the parent. You're going to bear the cost of full tuition in this Biden-Harris economy. Who can afford that? I can't. Can you? Exactly. And that's why we need to protect Title IX. Because Title IX protects us women in sports, bathrooms, and locker rooms.
Let's just call this for what it is. Fear-mongering and demonizing the entire trans community solely because Trump and the Republicans know that combining preconceived bigotry with a sense of unfairness is exactly what the base wants to hear, regardless of it being an entirely manufactured issue. Brown even workshopped her talking months in the weeks leading up to this rally speech, showing MAGA that she's more than willing to throw an entire community under the bus to personally benefit herself in true Republican fashion.
Where do you think this evil comes from? I mean, who in their right mind thinks it's okay for men to play women's sports or vice versa?
Joe Biden.
Okay.
That God puts the Holy Spirit on a pedestal. Just like a husband puts his wife on a pedestal. And that's why, as women, we need to be protected, just as the Father protects the Holy Spirit. She is the guide, just as the woman is the guide for the children in the household. But with what Biden is trying to do now is he's trying to bring transgenders into sports. And that is detrimental to women.
A laughable claim about Biden himself increasing the participation of trans athletes aside, Brown is doing nothing more than hitting all the right buzzwords to confirm the crowd's preconceived bigotry and biases towards trans athletes, while simultaneously justifying said biases via her religious beliefs. And that's sadly all you need to do to be a conservative political commentator.
And for a 300-pound man to go against me, that's going to put me at risk, and it's going to put other girls and women at risk, as well as the mental trauma of them coming into our safe spaces. It's unfair. They're taking away opportunities. They're taking away funding. They're taking away women's rights. And Title IX was to protect us. Title IX was to give us a fair, equal playing field and not to be discriminated against. This is not similar. This is a whole other sex coming into our sport and taking over. And I don't understand how the Biden-Harris administration is pushing this agenda.
At the time of this Fox News appearance, just days before the 2024 election, according to NCAA President Charlie Baker, there were fewer than 10 trans athletes out of the over 500,000 total athletes competing in collegiate sports. If that doesn't show you that this is more about cruelty and marginalization instead of competitive fairness and a legit concern for women's rights, then we don't know what else to tell you.
If you can and are willing, please become a paid member here at TYT Sports. And or go to tyt.com/join. In addition, you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Appreciate it. Have a great day.
In an absolutely infuriating piece of body cam footage out of the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office in Florida, a simple traffic stop for running a red light is going to change driver Jason Arrington's life forever, in yet another disgusting example of how law enforcement incompetence puts the community at risk, and how we, the people, must demand much better from the people who have the legal authority to inflict violence on ordinary citizens.
What's up, my man? Hey, you got a valid driver's license, proof of insurance, all that good stuff? Hey, you blew that red light.
The light was yellow and turned red when I went out there.
It was red when you blew it.
It was yellow.
Okay. Well, I saw it. It was red. So.
I saw it.
All right. Well, you got a proof of insurance? Just hang tight. You got you got anything crazy in the car?
Yeah.
What you got?
A gun.
You got a gun? Mm-hmm. You do? All right. Where's that? Mm-hmm. It's on you? Okay. As long as you're cool. And...
I'm chill. I ain't finna lie to you.
No, man. I appreciate your honesty.
Oh, I ain't got time to lie.
That's awesome. So you have concealed carry and all that good stuff? No, you don't. All right. You're not a convicted felon, right? Nothing.
I do everything. Whatever.
Okay.
You do,
all right. So what we're gonna do is, just for my safety, your safety, I'm gonna have you step out. All right. Fair enough. And we're just gonna remove the pistol from you, and then we're gonna run your license, make sure everything's good, and I'm gonna send you on your way.
Want to get out this way?
Yeah. Just hang tight. Just do me a favor. Lower that window. Hey, he's very compliant. He does have a pistol on him, so we're gonna take him out from that side, remove the pistol, and we'll go from there. All right.
By this officer's own admission, Arrington was completely compliant throughout the stop and did the right thing by protecting his safety and letting the officer know that he was armed when asked. It must be noted that in Florida, as of July 1st, 2023, you do not need a concealed carry permit to have a firearm in your possession, as long as you meet all of the standard criteria that qualify someone to obtain a concealed carry license. For example, some of the requirements are having a valid government ID, being over 21, not having a felony conviction or other violent offenses on your record like domestic abuse, not possessing illegal drugs while carrying, and other similar provisions. You can disagree with and criticize the law, and we probably agree with you, but from what we've seen so far, Arrington is handling things exactly how he should under the law. But like I said previously, things are going to take a turn for the worse.
Hey guys, quick break in the action. I have a new show coming out called The Rick Strom Show. It is going to be awesome. I'm interviewing musicians, athletes, producers, writers, journalists, authors, sports doctors. Go check it out at youtube.com/@TheRickStrom Also be sure to throw me a follow on Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky. It can all be found in the description box below. Thank you.
It was at this moment that Officer Mindy Cardwell, while trying to remove Arrington's firearm from its holster on Arrington's waist, discharged the gun and shot Arrington in his right leg, just below his hip, with the bullet exiting just above his kneecap.
Where's your pistol at? On my side. Okay. So, put your hands on top of the vehicle for me. Oh, yeah.
Although not completely clear from Officer Cardwell's body cam footage, JSO's own internal affairs investigation reported that Cardwell, quote, put pressure on the trigger of the firearm, causing the gunshot. In her own defense, Cardwell reportedly told investigators that Arrington's holster was too tight and wouldn't come off his waistband, as well as saying that she was using her non-dominant to try to remove the firearm for what it's worth.
You okay? Put the gun down. Put the gun down. No. Hey, rescue 1068. Let's go.
Rescue 1068.
Hey, man, come here. Walk with me. Walk with me.
Go ahead.
Sit down. Sit down. Sit down. Sit down. I got it.
To give credit where it's due, Officer Lowry, who made the initial stop, and Officer Weipert, who we're watching now, immediately called for medical help and did what they could to prevent as much blood loss as possible.
Pretty bad before you did it?
Yeah.
Where did you stop when you did it?
It was a pretty good arterial bleed. Tourniquet stopped most of it, and I just put a compression bandage on the exit wound.
Thankfully, Arrington survived his life-threatening injury directly caused by Officer Cardwell's incompetence and was transported to a local hospital in stable condition, later speaking out on the incident with News Nation.
My first thought that I was going to die because I didn't know the extent of how bad it was until I got to the ground and blood was coming out everywhere. So the officers kept telling me to calm down because I started shaking, but I felt calm, but I guess my body was going into shock, so I honestly didn't know what was going to happen but the worst. The two male officers that was there, they actually was just they was hands-on trying to help me, and she was just kind of wandering around in a circle what did I just do? She never said, sorry or anything or let me help you. She didn't say one word to me at all.
Arrington and his attorney, Kay Harper Williams, also sat down with TMZ detailing the struggles he had in returning to work and recovering from the shot.
But since I've been back, it's been a struggle. I get around, but my performance is not nowhere near the same, as fast as I was able to move. Ability to work longer hours that we was given. I can't do a lot of stuff, a lot of different things I can't do, I can't, going up and down stairs and stuff like that. It's a lot harder.
While Arrington plans to launch legal action against the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office, Officer Mindy Cardwell is surprisingly enough out of a job due to her incompetence, with the ultimate irony being that she reportedly participated in an initiative from the office to foster personal relationships with the community in hopes of reducing crime. Like we've said time and time again, we deserve so much better from the people who have the legal right to commit violence against us, and we sincerely hope Jason Arrington gets the justice he deserves for his life being completely derailed forever.
If you can and are willing, please become a paid member here at TYT Sports. And or go to tyt.com/join. In addition, you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Appreciate it. Have a great day.